Welcome to this section about outputs. So this section is going to be very tightly connected with the previous section, which was looking at different types of recycling for textiles. So here we're going to be questioning a little bit like what are the challenges with some of the outputs from these recycling processes. So we know that there are challenges in terms of the quality that comes out of a recycling process. But here the main distinction that we would like to make is between materials which are downcycled and materials which are recycled to equivalent or higher value than the input of the recycling process. So quite a lot of textiles, and actually those don't come into the 1% of fibre to fibre recycled materials, are downcycled. So the waste materials are chopped up and often made into what we call shoddy, which is this recycled material content, which is often used for insulation. So this is a valuable way of making the most out of waste resources, but it decreases the value that can be achieved from the recycling process. So we want to avoid doing this where we can and actually use the resources so that they can be made into something that has a similar value. So if we recycle a jacket, we want to be able to make something that has the same value as a jacket out of the end-of-life product. So recycling materials and chopping them up can really sort of like come out into different types of materials. Here we've got shoes, which are, as we know, like quite a complex product made of lots of different materials that are quite hard to recycle. So one way of doing this is by like doing this downcycling and making it into something that can be used rather than that it needs to be incinerated or landfilled. So what we want to achieve for a circular textiles economy is fibre to fibre recycling, where waste garments go into a recycling process and can be made into new fibres that can make new garments. So this example here is of a mechanically recycled cotton, and you can see the imperfections on it show us how like the fibre was chopped up from a previous garment and then made into this new fibre for the new garment. We can also use chemical recycling to break down the fibre and achieve a higher quality, like for this jumper, which is made from chemically recycled polyester. Essentially, when we're looking at outputs from recycled materials, we want to achieve the highest possible quality. We want to make sure that whatever has gone into the recycling process can be recovered at the highest possible value. This might mean things like making sure that not too many processes go into the recycling so that the monetary value can be maintained and that the fibres can be sold at a price that will be attractive to the new market. But it might mean that in some cases, some extra processes are needed just to make sure that the fibres actually compete with virgin resources.